I wonder, has the smell of morning faded? What happened to the robin's song that sparkled in the sky? Where did all the water go that tumbled down the stream? Will I ever catch another butterfly?
Thank you, Mike Williams, and welcome. This is Becky Meagher, Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit. Welcome. Transitions. We've all been through so many transitions in our life, from one job to another, from maybe you're a teenager and 60 years later you're doing something you totally didn't think you would ever do. And I like to use the metaphor of a triathlon, something I still do. And for instance, in a triathlon, the first thing you do is you swim. Then you're in a transition area. Then you bike. And then you're in a transition area again. And then you run. And gee whiz, so many different transitions.
You collapse.
Not collapse. So the fun thing is our guest today is Mike Williams. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Becky. Glad to be here.
Yes. And Mike is, when I first moved to Nashville, Mike and I were roomies. Actually, he was a singer-songwriter on the road all over the country. Yeah. And the song that he just sang, John Denver sang. And who else sang that? John Denver?
Well, he recorded it 3 times once with the Muppets.
The Muppets. So you can say my song was recorded with John Denver and the Muppets.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I say that every day.
But the amazing thing is when I first moved here, Mike Williams was a legend in the college market because he was the #1 solo artist, and he booked himself and even wrote a book on how can you book yourself in the college market. And he had
it sold tens of copies.
Tens of copies, exactly. Yeah. And what was that Volvo you had? How many miles did you have on that Volvo?
Oh, well, it finally gave up the ghost at 565,000 miles.
565,000 miles on a Volvo. Amazing, amazing. So he was on the road, and he is going to be playing some songs for us today. And I just wanted to give, there are so many singer-songwriters in Nashville, but he's really amazing, and I wanted more people to know about him because he's not out there playing much anymore, except for people in their living room and all that.
Becky, you're going to make me famous.
That's famous again. Yes. So I wanted to get a little background on you becoming this singer-songwriter. And where were you born?
Well, I was born in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. I grew up there.
Okay. And your family life was?
It was, I describe it as Ozzie and Harriet. It was, my parents were very happy. They were together all 45 years of their marriage till Dad died. And I just never knew that there was any other way to live until I was out of high school. It never occurred to me that anybody didn't have a happy upbringing.
Wow, wow, fantastic. Yeah. And then somehow or other, you picked up music in grade school or high school? How did this all happen?
Well, we didn't have any music in the family, so there wasn't that. But one day in 9th grade, I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm out on the baseball field at lunchtime, and I got my little transistor radio. I was one of those nerds. And on came Tom Dooley, the Kingston Trio had just released Tom Dooley, and I thought, oh my God, that's it. If I play guitar, maybe girls will like me.
Girls, okay.
That was the motivation.
And so you thought girls would like you, and so you self-taught yourself the guitar?
Yeah, just inability to do anything else, I guess. Just what I do.
And then did you graduate from high school?
I did, and went to Carolina, finally got a journalism degree there.
A journalism degree?
Yeah.
And you weren't really...
Whoop-de-doo.
Did you know what you wanted to do when you were in college?
I just knew that words fascinated me. I wanted to write. I did.
Write what?
Well, I didn't know, but writing just seemed like a good way to express. You know, in my experience in school, you're not taught to express yourself. Teachers have a hard time with a room full of people who are expressing themselves. And I always wanted to, so writing was the way. Journalism school was good, taught me a lot about songwriting, book writing, poetry, anything. The principles of journalism are real good. Get to it, make it brief, make it taut, cut the fat.
And that opened the door to you to start doing songwriting.
Yeah.
And so you got your degree, and there you are. Tell us what you're doing.
I just wanted to make music. I just, get me out of here, wherever here was, North Carolina. I kind of felt like it was a place that there was a whole lot of bigotry going on, and I thought maybe I can find a better place. So when I was 19, actually, after 2 years of school, I hitchhiked across to San Francisco.
Whoa.
And found different kinds of bigotry all over the place.
It wasn't just in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was the best year of my education, was that year I took off and hitchhiked around the country.
Wow.
I wish kids could still do that.
Safely.
I guess you could, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be the same now.
Were you playing music at the same time?
Well, I had my little guitar with me, and I had the guitar over my shoulder, a little suitcase, just like you see me now, my shorts and T-shirt out there with my little thumb out, and had little red hair.
Right. You had red hair down way past your shoulders.
Not when I was hitchhiking.
Oh, okay.
But later on, yeah.
Yeah, you had the image of the hippie man, singer-songwriter, and I guess your whole reason for getting into this was the meeting girls. Did you meet the girls?
I had some good fortune in that arena, but then the music was so much fun that it became its own reward.
Wow.
There's such power in music. There's just such, you can communicate with a song in a way that's just unique. I really enjoy that. So
you were on the road about how long doing the college market, and then love came?
Well, I got into the college market in the mid-'70s, and then for about a 4-year period there, I was doing just an amazing, about 130, 140 gigs a year, and college concerts, and just on the road all the time. That's where that Volvo took me. And then at about the time Ronald Reagan was president, about 82, the hippie wild man thing began to lose its luster to the audience, and that's all I knew how to be. I didn't know how to change into something else. So I, at that time, found my sweetheart, who we've been together now for 14,862 days.
Oh my heavens, who knows how many days?
Well, if ever one been a good one.
Wow,
Yeah.
How many years is that?
Her name is Kathy Cloninger, and when we got married, I kept my last name.
I love that. And I've done a show on her.
40 years.
40
Yeah.
years. I've done a show on her because
she's a powerhouse.
She is a powerhouse, and she retired from being the CEO of all the Girl Scouts nationally.
Girl Scouts of the USA, yes, she was. And
Pretty
a darn
amazing.
good one.
Yes.
I'm proud to be associated with her.
Yes. And you have so many songs. Did you decide once you met her that you were just kind of retiring from the
I decided at that time I wanted to, it was time to retire, and I didn't know what to do next, but being with her was what I wanted to do next, and it's never stopped being that way.
Wow.
And I'm the wild creative artist. She's creative too, but she's a solid business person.
Right.
That's why I wrote a song about us called "I'm Your Hobo, You're My Train."
Can you give us a couple bars of that? Just a couple bars.
Well, let's see. Your engine's running and you ain't looking back. You need a dreamer to ride you down the track. And you may be my last chance of coming from the rain. I'm your hobo, you're my train.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Wow. Wow. So I know you have sung many a song in my own living room and with different pickin' parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're still writing songs, still being very creative, and in your later years,
Yeah, that's what they are. I'll be 79 next week.
next week you'll
Yeah.
be 79.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So your songwriting has changed, and I want you to tell our audience where you're coming from, because you mentioned you wanted to change the world with your songs.
Oh, you know, that's a nice thing to say, and I don't live up to it all the time, but I find that it's a particular challenge as a songwriter to write something that changes people's mind about something. Because you can't just tell them what they're supposed to think. You can't just beat them over the head and say, you must think this.
Mm-hmm.
In order to actually get somebody to change their mind, you got to sneak up on them and make them think they thought of it first.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give you an example?
Yes.
Some of you here in town might recognize what this song's about. Alex and Jesse are the kitchen guys, making burgers so good they bring tears to your eyes. Margaret delivers with a smile and a beer. Y'all enjoy your lunch, come back now here. This place is comfy like old worn socks. It's a railroad car's been put up on blocks. The parking lot pavement is long gone, and in a booth in the back, I'm writing this song. Downtown is crazy, traffic's a mess. It's growth in the name of progress. I guess I'm watching skinny condos tear old homes down. When they close Brown's Diner, I'm leaving this town. When this diner opened 90 years ago, this city was a village, friendly and slow. Folks knew each other from the mayor on down, and trees grew along the streets in town. You could raise kids safe without locking your door. Folks helped one another, and then they helped some more. But now greed is king, every decision's a strain. The whole thing's busting like a runaway train. Downtown is crazy, traffic's a mess. It's growth in the name of progress. I guess I'm watching skinny condos tear old homes down. When they close Brown's Diner, I'm leaving this town. When they close Brown's Diner, they're closing the door on everything we've been living for. I'm watching skinny condos tear old homes down. When they close Brown's Diner, I'm leaving this town. When they close Brown's Diner, I'm leaving this town. Alex and Jesse are the kitchen guys, making burgers so good they bring tears to your eyes.
Bravo. All right. And for those of you who don't live in Nashville, Brown's Diner is an iconic place near Vanderbilt that's a hamburger dive, actually.
With skyscrapers all around it. It's this little squat little place.
It's a little squat little dive place, and they actually just added a outdoor like picnic area out there.
Good. I haven't been over there since. I better go.
Yeah, you
Check
better
out
go
the new
before they
arrangement.
close it down or what
wow.
have you. But that is an example of social consciousness. Hey, what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, you have written a wonderful country song about the red Corvette.
Oh, yeah.
And I would think people ought to really listen to this, because the country music, it's a country music opportunity, I think. And I'd love to hear somebody cut it.
I hope you're right.
I'd love to hear somebody cut it. But you got to really listen to the lyrics.
Well, it'll go over about 3/4 of the audience's head now. I'm just letting you know. You're not paying attention. This will slip right by you. You'll go, what did he say? Fresh out of high school, you bet, I set my eye on a red Corvette, saving my money for the longest time, a few more dollars and the title's mine. Down Main Street, everybody'd wave at me with the quarterback in the shotgun seat. I'd be riding high as a boy can get, soon as I can get me the red Corvette. But that was the summer Daddy's heart went bad. The price of medicine was more than he had. I gave him every penny I had left, instead of getting the red Corvette. I got a job in the mill and saved every dime. That bet was just a matter of time. I'd be a big shot soon enough, courting the fellas and strutting my stuff. But then one day I met Jimmy Jack. He stole my heart, wouldn't give it back. We got married by the old oak tree and started to plan our family. The bills piled up and children came. A young man's dream went up in flame. I got a minivan for the kids and pets, instead of getting the red Corvette. Well, you probably guessed the rest of this tale of a muscle car and an American male. Midlife crisis, a lifetime wish, slipped off the hook like the fish that got away. Now I'm taking stock of a life well lived in the loving arms of my man and kids. Daddy gets to watch grandchildren grow. I got a Chevy for my get up and go. And sometimes when the moon is bright, I go down to Maine on a Saturday night and watch a parade of fools in debt trying to pay off their red Corvette. And as they pass, I give them a wave, and I thank the Lord for the choice I made to trade and a dream on a better one yet. Instead of getting the red Corvette, I'd trade again with no regret, instead of getting the red Corvette.
All right.
That's one of my favorite rides.
Yes. Yes. And when you were writing that, were you thinking, I'm going to make this about two guys that fall in love?
Not at all.
No.
Here's what happened. Steve Gillette, he's a songwriter, wrote a song called Darcy Farrow about 60 years ago, you may have known. He and I were sitting around the Kerrville Folk Festival around one of the campfires, and we were just noodling and talking. And he told me about a guy he knew, a friend of his, had made a big old lifetime fork in the road decision. Said, yeah, he did that instead of getting the red Corvette. And I said, dibs.
Ah!
So I took the song and I wrote it about a boy and a girl in a small southern town, like a Norman Rockwell painting. And then I sang it for my friend Lynn Cothran, who's gay, and he's a wonderful dude, and he liked the song. And as I sang it to him, I thought, why can't this be Lynn's song? Why can't this be a family values song for two guys? And so I changed a couple of words. Now, if I had set out to write the song in the first place to make the point of here's what a level playing field looks like, if there weren't a lot of baggage associated, if it were just people in a small southern town, I wouldn't have had the good sense to write it like that. I would never have been able to accomplish it. It had to go around a corner to get there.
Ah.
And I'm real lucky. I give Lynn a co-write on that because he really did change the way the song feels.
Yeah.
I would love for somebody to record that one.
I would love that too. Who knows who might be hearing that out there. That's, yeah. That would be very, very good. Wow. Yes. And then, so social consciousness is now in your world of writing.
Yeah.
But it's not, but it's part of it, but is that the impetus for, I'm
No.
going to write a
It
social...
really isn't. I don't set out to write a social consciousness song. I think anthems, as I call them, the songs that they're supposed to make a difference, they are tough to write well. There's a lot of bad anthems that just don't work out there. There are not many songs like We Are the World. You know.
Oh, right.
So I just write a song that moves me in some way about just people, how I feel. And if it happens to touch one of those themes, ooh, okay, that's all the better. Yeah, I don't think I've set out, well, I did with one, the one called State Line Street. That one I wrote on purpose to try to be a mind changer.
Ah.
I don't know, we don't have time to do that probably.
I don't think
that
so.
would be, but anyway, that's another one.
I want to give a little history too.
Yeah.
We have some, I don't know if we can get a shot of this. This is your record company, BF Deal.
BF Deal Records. Proud of it.
And John Lomax got this and brought it, and we'll do a show on him too.
There's the hair and beard.
And there's your long red, bright hair and the hippie thing. And then also there was this, the Mike Williams radio show. And these are more your typical...
That was the first one. We cut that album in 59 minutes. That's a long story I won't bore you with, but that was very fortunate.
59 minutes. It was just...
I got to tell you a story about the long hair on the other one.
Yeah.
I had that hair for 25 years, starting in 1972. I didn't cut it for 25 years.
Wow.
And then my mama called me up one day and said, "Before I die." So I said, "Okay, I'll cut it." Well, she's 101 now, going on 102.
And her birthday is next month, right?
She'll be 102 in March, yeah.
Wow, so you cut your hair for your mom?
I cut my hair for my mom, and it's all right. It was strange, though, because for 25 years, I couldn't walk in a room and not heads turn. And when I cut it off, I could walk in a room and nothing would happen. And that was kind of neat. It was like being invisible. It was strange.
Wow, I never thought about that. But to have hair, that 25 years of growing your hair, you know, that was...
It was what I called down and out, down my back and out past my shoulders.
Whoa, that's amazing.
It was fun.
And then you're, just a little aside, your mom, who is an amazing woman who just now, this year, moved out of her house.
She just moved out of independent living into assisted living. She's been at this retirement community for 28 years.
Wow.
And 20 of those years, she got a second boyfriend. See, after my dad died, there was 5 years that she was alone, and then moved into this retirement community and met up with this guy, and they had a 20-year romance. He died just short of 100 years old 5 years ago.
Golly.
And she says she's not going to get another boyfriend, but I don't know.
At 100, you can imagine another boyfriend. Whoa. Wow. Well, I'm going to have you do one last song, but I wanted you, because we have 2 minutes for you to kind of explain, anybody that's a songwriter out there or a performer, and it seems so much tougher to be in the business to make a living. Do you have any advice for young folks out there?
No.
No.
I don't have any idea about the business. I'm sorry. I write songs because I can't not write songs. I write songs because it pleases me to write them and to sing them, and if it pleases you to hear them, that's my reward.
Wow.
I'm real lucky that Kathy was able to make a good living, because you know what they say about a songwriter whose girlfriend loses her job? He's homeless. So I've been fortunate enough to do it for the simple reason of just the exhilaration of writing and singing. I wouldn't mind if people would record some.
Okay.
But I don't know what to tell people who depend on it for a living anymore. I wouldn't know how to advise. There are a lot better people to advise than me. All I can say is follow your heart. Just
And-
do what you need to do, what you must do, what you can't not do.
Well, gee whiz. I guess if they could find John Lomax, they might be able to find a record like this. And he is in the import record business too.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a couple of them he bought for 25 cents somewhere.
Wow. Well, lead us out into what song is your song of choice? What did we decide? The beach one?
Well, yeah,
or-
let's do that. We got
Yeah.
2 minutes left?
We got 2 minutes.
Okay. When I was a child, we had to travel far to get to the place where the bikinis are. Pina coladas, little umbrellas. Now the trip is short. I'm a lucky fella, 'cause the beach is coming to us. The beach is coming to us. No need to fly or hop on the bus, 'cause the beach is coming to us. Politicians said climate change is overrated. Trying to go green just too complicated. They said it was a hoax. Ha ha ha. Now Atlanta, Georgia is Shangri-La, 'cause the beach is coming to us. The beach is coming. You know what everybody's going to be singing after this show. No need to fly or hop on the bus, 'cause the beach is coming to us. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Now I hear that the world is going to hell. All the doomsdayers, I wish them well. The eastern seaboard is gone forevermore, but the surfing is great on the Chattanooga shore, 'cause the beach is coming to us. The beach is coming to us. Everybody, no need to fly or jump on the bus, 'cause the beach is coming to us. La la la.
Whoa! All right, the beach is coming to us. I've not heard that song, and it's a kind of frightening thought, but it's social consciousness makes us think about what's happening in the environment, but you do it in a fun
Well, you
way.
see, that's the sneaking up part. If I got in here and said, now, climate change is eroding the beaches and the water's rising, then nobody pay any attention.
Right.
But the people watching this show are going to go, the beach is coming for the next 5 days.
Right, right. It's the tune that you can't get out of your mind. It's amazing.
Thank you for letting
Wow.
me do these songs on your show.
Yes.
It's been a fun way to get into that theme. I appreciate
Well,
it.
Mike Williams, singer, songwriter, a man of great words. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thanks.
Yeah.